Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's me, your brother, your friend. A quick one this evening, and I need to be very far because I have an interview later in the day at Niger Wash. So please, guys, I need to do as fast as I can go today. Like you see on my word, is matter arising with Humanist Stephen, Nigeria in focus. We're going to discuss a lot of things about Nigeria, Edo State, and other parts that as much as we can go. While we just wait for that, let me just play my regular Benin national anthem while we wait for others to come as you share the broadcast. Thank you, guys, and God bless.
The ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers of labor and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Lego nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria, beautiful and glorious, and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written. How our kings have endured all times. Our people culture in unity. Our hearts before the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Unite and stand with each other. Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand come what may. And the future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught. To fear and love the Creator, only then shall we succeed. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land we want to be.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want me to talk about the impeachment saga that just happened in Edo State House of Assembly. I'm not going to talk about that this moment. I'm going to be having an interview later at Niger Watch by 8 o'clock Central Europe time and 7 o'clock United Kingdom Nigeria time. So I'm going to talk about that very particular. I'm going to have an interview at Niger Watch to discuss that very particular incident that happened today. So, but today, based on what has been happening in Nigeria, I have been thinking really deep. What is the way forward for us as a nation called Nigeria? What are the ways in which we can have a more robust governance and a more robust representative in our government? And having sat down to study the pattern at which things have been going on in the nation called Nigeria since the coming in of this dispensation, in 1999, I have come to understand that there is a way out. There is a way out. Like I said, breaking Nigeria into pieces is not a solution. These guys who wants Nigeria to be broken do not really understand the in-depth, the problem of the nation called Nigeria. They think we live in the houses for them to be on their own will change the concept of a better Nigeria. Let me say something here. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not an Hausa man. He's a Yoruba man. The problem of the West is not in the hands of the Northerners. The problem of the West is in the hands of the Westerners. If you come to the East, Hope Uzodinma is not an Hausa man. The problem of the East is not in the North. The problem of the East is in the hands of the Easterners. Come to Niger Delta, where over 20 trillion or thereabout, or 10 trillion thereabout, have been given to Niger Delta since the time of the late Musa Yar'Adua. Over 10 trillion naira have been given for the development, for the emancipation of the Niger Delta region. Who are the people stealing the money? Is it the Igbos in the East? Is it the Yorubas in the West? Or is it the Kanuri, the Hausas, the Fulanis in the North? The answer is no. The problem of Nigeria is the constitution, the structure that make up the nation called Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria are Nigerians. Tinubu holds practically half of Lagos State. He is a Yoruba man. Oshomole had no house. Why he was coming to Benin to contest for the position of governorship in Edo State. After 8 years, Oshomole left Edo as a billionaire. That Oshomole can practically today ready to sponsor a gubernatorial candidate in Edo State. Just 8 years of being a governor. Where did he actually make the money from? So destroying Nigeria doesn't solve the problem. Just like SARS that we have finally won today. And I give kudos to the youth. Despite I, as a person, was not in support of SARS, all I was after is end police brutality, end police extortion. You guys did well. Your voice was heard, and the government bowed to you. The question is this: has that actually ended the inhuman treatment that is being meted to our fellow Nigerians? You know, sometimes there are things we need to actually veer for. We mix the point, all because of sentiment. I said it. Africans, we are too very emotional, particularly Nigerians. We are very, very emotional in our dealings. We speak loud when the adrenaline that creates emotion has run into our brains. We begin to act irrational. No one need to actually sit down and understand some ways of wisdom. SARS is a department in the Nigerian police force. Yeah, they messed up big time. Yes, they committed a lot of atrocities. Yes, SARS became criminals, legalized criminals in the Nigerian police force. Yes, they actually bastardized, destroyed most of our young, vibrant youth. They sent them to an early grave. Yes, they did a lot of atrocities while they held sway in that position. But one thing we should not take away from it is this. After the disbursement, they were all returned back to other departments in the Nigerian police. Now, the only thing that was disbanded was the nomenclature. The name SARS, or FSARS, as you may call it. The only thing that was changed in the whole system was the name. These guys who are actually perpetrating this evil were not sent out of the Nigerian police. When you are crying for a disbursement, then everything that had to do with that very session would have been forgotten as far as the history of Nigerian policing was concerned. Then I would have said, you guys have done wonderfully well. But for only a name to have been removed, and the people who were committing the atrocity still left in the Nigerian police force, it is just pouring an old wine into a new wine bottle. And that actually will not help. People were wanting the president to speak. He refused to address the nation. That's where I'm going to come in right now. I have sat down and I was going through all the political parties in Nigeria today, and I found that each political party has a vice chairman in the 6th political zone of the nation. The Northeast, the North Central, the Northwest, the Southwest, the Southeast, the South-South. This is the 6th political geographical zone that made up the entity called Nigeria. And having listened carefully or have to watch these geographical locations or zones, you find that each of these zones have a different identity from each other. My suggestion to have a developmental Nigeria is when we have a president who sits in Abuja. We have 6 vice presidents. I repeat, we have 6 vice presidents who sits in each of the political zones. We have one from the south, from the southeast, from the southwest, from the central, from the northwest, from the northeast. If this can be done, this will not only reduce the burden that is being taken to Abuja, it will not help in the development of each of these political zones. Because the vice president will be there, who is from the south-south, is there taking sway. making sure that everything that is accrued to the South is being gotten as at when due. I promise you, if the Nigerian government can put this into work, the problem of Nigeria will be reduced by 70%. Because the work you are giving to the president at the central is too bogus for them to be able to perform anything. It will also reduce the pressure of overbearing attitude of the major ethnic groups in Nigeria. It will also reduce the fear, the tension that Nigerian is about to be made to become an annex of the Fulani Empire. Then each of the geographical zone will now hold their vice president responsible for the underdevelopment of their zones. This is one way in which we can be able to make Nigeria a working state, because we speak different languages, different cultures, different way of thinking. But the only way we can actually become a better nation is when we have to take our diversity and build it for unity. I have watched carefully when there's an issue in a political party, for example, in the South, they send the South vice president or vice chairman to go there. When there's a problem in the North Central, they send the North Central vice chairman to go there. And he goes there and settle the matter. The Nigerian government should think of this very particular idea. It's going to help us as a nation. And the state called Nigeria needs to be restructured now. Let me tell you, Nigerian government, having been able to win the battle against SARS, I promise you this is going to be the changing moment of the history of the nation called Nigeria. The youth are going to be continually clamoring for more changes. Watch out. In the next few months, you're going to start hearing more demands for a better Nigeria. And if we are not careful, we might have a disintegration. I'm not praying for that, because every nation that have disintegrated, even in the Europe today, have not been able to perform while they were united as one entity. So my plea to those in authority of government today, to take this candid advice and restructure the nation today for a better, more articulate governance that can bring prosperity to the nation called Nigeria. I said in this live video that I made some time ago, how light can be generated. There are 5 different ways that this can be done. We can take advantage of each of these geopolitical zones to know what is best for them in power generation. Like in the north, they don't have so much water, but they have a lot of wind and sunlight. They can go to the nuclear power, or they can operate on the wind. Even they can also operate on organic because they are very good farmers also. The southern part of Nigeria, they have a lot of water. And also they also have a lot of sun. They can also engage. This is the only way. When there is now, listen, we can have a federal system of government, but we can create our own federal system of government, because today, the federal system of government that is being operated by Nigeria is Nigeria's own federal system of government. If you go to Ghana, for example, they have provinces. They have provinces. Provinces are just like political zones. They operate on provinces. They have regional leaders that have been elected, just like what I'm saying now, to become like a president or a vice president who takes care of these regions. This is the only way. It happens in the early days of this nation. The development you had in the north during the Granite Pyramid, the development you have in the southwest during the cocoa time, and the development you have in the southeast and the middle belt, and the Midwest, the palm tree era. This is where obtainable, because there was a structure along language line. It made it easy for the government that is operating in this area to communicate with their people because of the close and the understanding that they have. I listened to a video today when a guy, a pastor from the north, was saying upon all that Goodluck Jonathan did for the north, they never actually accepted him. And I laughed. The reason why he wasn't accepted, because the man who was speaking for them, who do not actually understand their greatest desires. But if they have a vice president who stays in the north, west, northeast, or north central, who listens to the cry of the people every day and brings such complaints to the central anytime they're going to have an executive meeting of all the zones with the president in Abuja. Nigeria, I promise you, in the next few years will become a place that everyone is envied to go to. This has gone beyond politics. The people, we love politics. We love propagandas. But we must have an idea on where we are going. Without a nation having a plan of where it's going to, the nation is actually heading for a doom. One of the greatest problems that the African continent has is we don't actually know where we are going to, where we are heading to. And that has led us into this perpetual poverty that we've actually found ourselves. In the midst of plenty, we have not been able to bring our people out of abject poverty. Another thing that I would also love to tell the Nigerian government and even the Edo State government, in this one, let me be very specific to my governor, Governor Obaseki, sir. You've won the election. By the grace of God, on the 12th of next month, you'll be sworn in for your second term in office. I want you to have something at the back of your mind. That one, you are there to serve the people. This is very, very important. You must make a difference. Not just making a partial difference. You must make a significant difference. You must study the part of Ambrose Ali and S.O. Memorial of blessed memories. And before you start appointing your people into government, This is an advice. Tell everyone that is coming in, they are coming to serve, not to get rich at the expense of the people. Make every commissioner salary to be 150,000. Make every commissioner salary to be 150,000 on the maximum. Let people come in with a genuine interest to serve the people, not to amass wealth at the detriment of the masses. I checked the Nigeria budget. When I checked the Nigeria budget that they just brought in, now, do you know that the budget takes recurrent expenditure take about 70% of the entire budget? How can a nation develop like that? And after that money that they brought in, about 30% of it is going to be borrowed. Or more than 30% will be borrowed to foot the bill. And we now borrow to pay for the lives that these people are living. We should not deceive ourselves anymore. You that live in Europe, you that live in America, how does the senator in America lives? How does the senator in UK lives? How does the senator in Sweden lives? I had an opportunity of being to the parliament during this campaign time here in Sweden. I was shocked at what I saw. The office of the man that is representing my constituency, as it is being called in Nigeria, it's not bigger than a kitchen. A kitchen. This man does not have a private hall where he can hold meeting with guests. This man does not have a secretary of his own. They have one general secretary that you need to talk to when you get in there. You book an appointment. And if you are more than one, maybe if you are up to 10, then you need to record them maybe days before so that they can book for the conference hall. They have one conference hall that all the parliamentarians are using on bookings. That is all we need in Nigeria. Where people will come and make absolute sacrifice. Governance is to serve the people, not to become rich at the detriment of the people. I just told some guys that I stopped working. I deliberately just want to stop working. Okay? Because I've worked for quite some time. I'm a little bit getting tired of that. So I need to start something doing, maybe to go back home and run my business and all that and that. But that's not the issue. As I stop working, I'll be paying €14.20 per month to unemployment insurance company. To an unemployment insurance company created by the Swedish government to cater for people who lost their job for whatsoever reason or the other. And the very day that my contract with the company ends, it is automatic. The last month I'm going to be paid, which is going to be this end of this month. Then by the beginning of next month now, the company would have sent all my details to the unemployment insurance company, who will begin to pay me 80% of my salary for the next 1 year with some conditions which I need to follow anyways. You see these people, they have a plan. I'm not working with government. I work with the private sector. But here, it doesn't matter whether you are working with the private sector or you're working with the government. You already had a plan that everyone do not need to suffer for whatsoever reason. This is what we need to be clamoring for. Not politics. Politics is over. The election has been won and lost. The question is, what is the way forward? Like I said in one of my videos, that each houses, the government of Edo State should bring down C of O. What is the name of the other one they call it? Surveyor. Surveying of land. Put them together. Put them under one canopy that the state government will take responsibility of it. Take it to 60,000, both of them. Since the same group of people are the ones that are responsible. Put it to 60,000 official price. Then those of us that now want to do it as a business, who don't want to pass through the stress, cannot decide to go and get the services of an agent. That's our own cup of tea. We'll pay extra to the agent. And it will not make it more like compulsory for every house in Edo State to have a CFO in their land. Because there is no way, we need to be truthful, that you can go to the bank now and ask the bank for 5 million naira loan. No way. Even when you have the property, they're going to tell you it doesn't carry it. But when the system is not being put in place, the poorest of the poor can actually seek a loan to develop whatever they have in plan. It will not be for the rich getting loans at the detriment of the poor. Benjamin Itine, you don't understand where I'm going to. You just coming in. You must understand to get where I'm coming from. In every house in Europe today, let me tell you what is CFO. If you don't understand, in Europe, you don't build houses. The government builds for you. Now, every month, you pay a lot of bills to the government. Okay? You pay a lot of bills to the government. If you live in Italy, they call it condominium. Here we Sweden, we call it monad of gift. It is being encompassed. Every different kind of things are being put in place for you to pay. Those things you are paying, you also pay for the land. Inside that money you pay every month. Get this very clearly. Nothing is free in Europe. But in Nigeria now, the government doesn't build houses for us. We build those houses ourselves. So for you to be able to get a loan, you need a CFO. This is where the CFO comes into play. So there will be a proper documentation of the house that you built. Let me give you a story of myself. Where I live right now, I bought it some few years back. I had about three apartments here before now. Then I sold some. This one I'm living in now, it had no loan on it. Okay, it has no loan. I bought it cash. Now, I was doing some business in Nigeria. I'm into real estate anyways. I buy houses, put it up, sell. I'm into a lot of things. Now, I took a lot of loans here that amount to over 190,000 euros, which is about 2 million Swedish crown in total, that I borrowed to invest back home, not here. Are you listening to me now, Benjamin? Now, when that happened, as I was about planning to stop working, so I need a way whereby the pressure of paying back those private loans will not be so much on me. I called the bank in. Yeah, I have an apartment, a big one at that, a 5 rooms apartment. I don't know if you can take it over from me. He said, okay, what do you want? I said, I needed some money to pay off all the loans that I have on me, the private loans that I have. He said, okay, give us some papers. Write to the association that the people who control the house to ask them some 1 or 2 questions. They gave me what they needed, and I wrote the association, and the association sent everything to the bank directly, and that was it. And that was it. So all they did was for them to now take all the loans that I was owing, private loans, and they paid all off and put the money on my house. Now, practically, I am loan free. I only have little loan now on my mortgage. That is the idea of having a C of O in a country called Nigeria. I remember in 2018, I wanted to buy an hotel in Nigeria. I want to buy a hotel around Tesami Road there in Benin. And they said the hotel was about 40 or 50 million. And I went to the bank, First Bank, and I said, okay, I needed some money. I want to buy a property and all that and that. They checked my card. They knew I've been a very consistent what's it called customer with them. They knew that my account is always running. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about everything reduction now. That's what I'm talking about reduction now. You see, I'm talking about the reduction completely. So that when everybody has it, I'm going to come to that. I'm going to explain that why it's like that. Let me just give a little insight now. Now, when I went to the bank, you know what the bank told me? I have a property that was tens of millions. Tens of millions. A house. Just one. So I told them, come on, I have properties. Come on, this thing is here. I have a lot. You know what they told me? They said, sir, we know. But without a C of O, this property is valueless. We know the word. We know that this actually what. But without a C of O, it is valueless. I said, why? He said, do I know that I can make another paper? They said, do you know I can make other documents within a trick of an eye and sell the land after I've taken the money? That was what he told me. Say, yeah, you can do that. Because these are your papers that you can tomorrow make another one. Say, but with a C of O, it is impossible for you to sell it. Because they're going to take the original C of O from you and the plan of the house. Why they give you the money? I also said something here. I said, we need a social security number in Nigeria, in Edo State in particular. That will also help us for them to identify us. Because the problem with Africa is proper identification. When there is no proper identification, it becomes tough for you to be able to get things that you are expected to get. there is no society that will progress, particularly the small scale or the small medium entrepreneurs, without the help of loans from bank. Loans, not just loans, soft loans. But how can these loans be given to you when there is no proper identification? You see why the rich get rich in Africa? Because a big man has all the identity. He has proven himself to be identifiable to get what he wants. They are giving this big man a loan not because of the man himself, but because of what he had acquired. Let's give Dangote as an example. He get billions and billions of dollars as loan from private and central banks. They are not giving the loan to Dangote as a person. They are giving the loan to Dangote group of companies. So the Dangote group of companies now become an identity that covers Dangote. But if you are not as wealthy as Dangote, you cannot be able to get the same loan. So when you have a CFO, a company CFO, then the price that you pay every year will be reduced to the barest minimum. Because when the price is reduced and everybody is not paying, you get the same amount with little or no more stress. That is my point. That is where I am going to. That imbalance is what we need to fight against now. That things should start working in the nation called Nigeria, and Edo in particular. You know, now, after the election like this, you see people fighting for positions. I am telling the governor, look before you leap. Don't give people power because they actually supported you. Give people position based on their qualification. I'm not saying paper now. The ability for them to deliver. Let people you are bringing in actually be people that have what it takes to turn your government all around for the benefit of the Edo people. Not few that will come and want to embezzle the little that is left for the development of the state called Edo. I have said before, I am not interested in government of Obaseki, and I'm repeating it again over and again. My essence of fighting was to get a better Edo so that you and I can live and be happy. Not an Edo whereby some few who never went to school will be declaring billions in their account without no second address to their names. Where graduates will be driving keke nape. Not a situation whereby, oh, this one I know him very well. He was very active. Yeah, if he's active, there are ways you can also patronize politicians. But make sure that they deliver on whatsoever you give them to do. Put round pear in round holes if Edo must move forward. The Edo are actually waiting on you to deliver. Your first term was not interested to the Edo people. But your second term is becoming. what the Edo people want to see you do better, because they fought for it. They gave all for this second term to come to pass. So they want to see a better development in Edo State. I don't know what they're going to do about electricity, sir. But that is one thing that we need in Edo. If the federal government cannot do it, thank God you now have the license to operate a private electricity power. Please do it as much as possible and take Edo away from darkness. You've done well in the road network in Edo, but we need to see the flood going away from the state. You did well, but we need to see the flood going away from the state. I've seen a lot you doing. People are sending me videos of you trying to take over Ebotubu Aziz and put them up, taking them down to all the rivers, and you are doing a Ekewan Aziz and all that and that. I appreciate that, but I want to see a sustainable, durable roads to be constructed this time, either from your government, either from the World Bank, or from the NDDC. It doesn't matter which of these people that are doing it. Put the right people to make sure that the quality is according to what is on paper. The design must be able to bear the test of time. Because one of the problems of Nigeria today and Edo, I'm not the Warri Supply Road today is not motorable anymore. Sometimes I wonder what kind of leaders do we have? You see a road is already having some crack. In Sweden here, they fix road every 5 years. Whether the road is good or not, they will just scrape the top and put in a new nylon tie. Whether the road is good or not, they don't care. As far as it has taken, there's a duration be put in place. You must tell these contractors who are doing our roads that they have to sign a contract for a specific number of years. If the contractor fails, he will be called back because of the contract that is signed with the government. This is where we can have a better society. We'll not be doing road every 4 years. Any road you did now should take a minimum of 10 years duration. 10 years duration. And if anything happens within that 10 years, the contractor is liable. The contractor is liable to come and fix it without no penny adding to it. We must begin to act according to the law. Don't give position to people based on they work for me, they during the election, they break themselves for me. Bros, if they break themselves for you, go and tell them to make chairs for schools. Now walk. I said, I am a Republican here in Sweden. During the election, we go around. Nothing comes, nothing. Nothing. They don't give you anything. Your work, come out. You are working because you want a better society. You are not working, you're not supporting a government because you want to enrich yourself. We must take out that mentality from our head. When you support a government, you're supporting the government because you saw what the government is doing. It's uplifting the standard of living of the people. That's the reason why you queue behind the government. Not because when you're supposed to go because you want to become a commissioner or SSAs or whatever. No. But there are also people who support the government that are also good. That are also really, really good in the area of their jobs. Yes, such a person should be employed into the government to come and put in bear that which he understood and know. This will help. People might not like this, what I'm saying now. Like I said before, I am not a politician. And I don't care about what people will think about me. Obaseki, I want to also beg you, sir. Can you please, with all due respect, investigate Oshomole? I am begging you in the name of God, in the name of our ancestors, in the name of the Oba, investigate Oshomole. And everyone that was in that government, let there be paper opening. That is the only way we can move forward. Make an executive decree. Any man in Edo State that could not explain how he made his money and he was in government, his property should be seized. Let a law be promulgated. Anyone that could not explain how he made his money while in government, let there be a public declaration from the councillor down to the governor, a public declaration of their assets. That is the only way we can stop this whole mess of corruption. How can somebody coming into government? That's what I'm talking about, proper documentation. Proper documentation. Come to us, tell us, I have a house in such a place. Send people there to go and view the house. That is according to what he had on paper. Make everybody in the door to register their house. If possible, do it for free, sir. For free. Let every house in the door be registered for free. I promise you, in 1 year, you will end corruption in Nigeria, in Edo State. You will end corruption. In 1 year. I'm not joking. Make every house to be register all houses in the door free of charge. Nobody pay any money. Free. You will see these politicians you are seeing, so they'll be running etasketa. If they give you the house to become your own, you will steal the house, you will not return it back because your name did the house. You will see people who stop stealing. But when people steal, they leave government. You people are allowed to go like that. The next one will come and steal. Do you know today where they steal from? When Zayemu was campaigning, Zayemu interest was on security vote. Zayemu interest was just on the security vote, nothing more. Everything you hear him, 700 million. 700 million. So it was so much concerned about the security vote. Do you know why? Because the security vote is not accounted for. It is under the prerogative of the governor to use it the way he wants. If even he refuses to use it, nobody holds him accountable. Such a system must stop if we want a developed nation. How can a man be getting 700 million naira every month as security vote? How can one man get 700 million naira as security vote under his command? Even the angel of God will be tempted to steal. Even the angel, God angel, will be tempted to steal with such money. So every month, we need to end that. That part of the system needs to end. Even when the security vote is under the governor, it must also have a cabinet that will look into the day-to-day expenditure of that money with proper accountability. Mr. Basaki, sir, you destroyed Tony Kabaka's hotel with government money, and you gave him a bill to pay of 18 million. Have you actually collected the money back to the government coffer? Or was it just politics alone? Because I know in Europe, if government destroy your motor, now you go pay. If government destroy your motor for Europe, now you go pay. If government destroy your house for Europe, now you go pay. Now they destroy more, now you go pay. Now you go pay. So this guy needs to pay the 18 million naira back to the government coffer. Except it was just mere politics. But if it was not, it is time you make the right thing and making him to bear the burden of his actions. And I'm not against Tony Kabaka as a person, but I'm just saying for there to be a sane society, things need to be done the right way. That's where we can work. Let people begin to do things the way it is. Not like, it doesn't matter. If you say this is the law, hold the law. If you catch governor, let governor pay. The former prime minister of Sweden, when he employed some people as black jobs, he paid heavily. Prime minister, he paid. He paid for even employing people without putting them under registration in the government. He pays heavily for it. They give him a very huge fine. A very huge fine to pay. They didn't say because he was the prime minister. He paid. In this country, the only person that have the right to beat traffic in Sweden is the king. And the police when they are on emergency. Not even the prime minister. Because they want to make everything workable for everyone. Mr. Governor, sir, the victory you got on the 19th of September 2020 is the victory for the Edo people, not for any political party or any political gladiators. The victory you had was for the Edo people. The Edo people fought for the emancipation of the Edo political dynasty from the hands of the vultures that have held sway for a very long time. So I want to plead with you, sir, with all due respect, do not give the victory of the people to some political vultures that are hovering around you now to suck off what is left of the carcass of Edo State. A lot of news are coming in. People are mounting pressures on you to give some political positions based on political correctness, not on the wish of the people. I want to advise you, sir, you must seek, as a matter of fact, you must seek the people's consent in some vital decisions you're going to take in connection to your second term in office. So we can join hands together and make Edo a better place to live in. We fought with you not because we believe we're going to get something as a person, but we fought with you because we know we are going to make something out of the political situation in Nigeria. Yes, Sister Grace, I'm going to talk about that by 8 o'clock Swedish and European time and 7 o'clock Nigeria time. I'll be on live interview. I'm going to talk about that. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about that. So I don't want to give so much on that. That's why I'm trying to talk about what I prepared for today. That is going to be an interview later in the evening, on Niger Watch. So you catch me live there. Yeah, tonight, tonight, 8 o'clock tonight, Europe time. I said before now, the salaries, the enumerations, the allowances of political appointees, including the governor of the state, please, should be reduced. Please, I beg you, sir. We know you are a very prudent spender. You are one who check everything you spend on. I am begging you, have a rethink on what this guy gets home. A young guy who just finished the university gets into the State House of Assembly, and in 4 years is building a mansion. Not one, not two. Sometimes some of them are building 4 mansions in choice locations in the state and even in Lagos State. Most of them, they are riding on one of the most expensive cars in town. My question is, are they there to govern or they are there to amass wealth? We must change the narratives. We must change the narratives. If we can fight for end SARS, why can't we fight for ending of over payment of political figures in Nigeria? Our legislators and our state house of assemblies receive the highest salaries all over the world. In Sweden, there's nothing like official cars. In Sweden, there is nothing like official cars for the parliamentarians. There's nothing like that. It's not like that. Most of the parliamentarians take public transport to work. They take the train to work. Some of them ride on their bicycles to work. Because they are called to serve. Their desire is to see the people smiling, not them living in a lot of affluence at the detriment of the general populace. We must look into it. Do you know why there is a constant impeachment in Edo State? Not in all over Nigeria, House of Assembly or National Assembly. Do you know why? Because the moment the man who is at the aim of affair as a speaker or the Senate president is sitting on millions of naira. Not because there is any political connotation to it. Because the money that is accrued to the Speaker of the House or to the Senate President is unprecedented. Now you see them, they also fight for the position of chairman of committees. They'll be looking, there's a committee called Juicy Committee. What is juicy about a committee? That you were supposed to go and work. What is juicy about a committee that you were supposed to go and work? They fight for it because that is where they can embezzle. This is what we want to see to an end. Every constituency project must be followed up, bomber to bomber. Sir, in this year, I want to beg you, sir, your budget should not be secret budget. Your budget should be an open budget that we all will see. Any money you are taking to the State House of Assembly, let us know how much. The work that is you are supposed to do with it, let us know. So we can monitor these people to make sure that every money you give to them, they don't steal it. Every money going to the local government, sir, we want to know. So that the money you give to them, what the money was supposed to be used for, we need to know. So that they don't steal it and go and build mansions and be buying cars for guests. And leaving the road to their houses unmotorable. Leaving their families in darkness. This is what we are asking for in this government. Nothing more, not less. With these things I have just said, we can make Nigeria a better place, Edo a better place to live in. Armed robbery will end. Armed robbery will just disappear. You know what they cause armed robbery? Now inequality. Inequality gives rises to armed robbery. When the distance between your wealth and my own is too high, enviness will come in. And when enviness crept in, therefore there is a tendency that something unusual might happen. So if the government can listen to these advices and try to make things workable, you will see Edo State will become a better place for us all. Contractors will be afraid to do a quasi job and run away because they will be held accountable. Government appointees will be afraid because when you are coming in, you must tell me how many houses you've built before you come in. You must tell me how many cars you own before you come into government. Every property you own must be documented. If you mistakenly omit one and we get you are going to jail. Let them put jail 10 or 50 years on corruption, on corrupt leaders. Anybody corrupt, even secretary for office, you corrupt, 50 years. Bros, people go run away from corruption. Not more EFCC they do so. If you cannot explain how you made the money, there's no proper explanation. Bros, you should go in for it. You have 300 million in your account. What were you doing when you cannot explain? Bros, you going in for it. That's why in Sweden, there's some money you cannot have in your account. You need to explain how you manage to have it. I'm telling you, you will explain. I did, like I told you guys, I do an online business here. I do an online business, and it has been a little bit good. It has been paying me. So I think June, I got about 1,000 plus euros into my account from the office outside Sweden. Do you know that the Swedish government called me to come and explain? 1,000 euros, 1,000 something euros to come and explain how I managed to get it. They asked me to come and explain the money, how the money came into my account. Just 1,000 something euros. It helps to reduce any form of corruption. They should put this in place. They should put this in place. Now we talk to Sister Mercy. If all this money where they chop so they can use it to do something better, everything will come back to normal. We need the governor to understand this and work according to our plans. God bless you all. Tomorrow is going to be another day. We're going to talk about this thing tomorrow. I'm going to analyze what the governor should do. I'm just praying and believing God for him to make it right and put us in the path of greatness. At the end,
thank you, Jesus, for giving us the governor of the people.
At the end, we'll be able to smile again. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, in the next 2 hours, I'm going to be on live at Naija Wash. I'm going to be having an interview on the impeachment of the Speaker of the House. And we're going to deliberate a lot of things there. Please just go around there, click onto that place, and enjoy the time. God bless you. 5 o'clock tomorrow again. I'm going to have my normal morning devotion, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to speak on a topic I titled, What is that in your hand? What is that in your hand? I'm also doing that, to also help us and put us on the path of doing the right thing. And in the evening, I'm going to talk on this same topic again. On that, I will not be dealing with Nigeria, in particular. And 7 o'clock Nigeria time and 8 o'clock European time today, I'll be having an interview with Naija Wash to discuss on the way forward. God bless you guys and have a blessed day. Okay. Bye, guys. I think I'm getting a lot of calls now. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Move forward, backward never. Yo, 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 no comfortability. Move forward, backward never. Yo, 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 forward never, backward never. Obaseki na demand. We know forward never, backward never. Shaibu say na demand. We know, don't move forward.